In this video we will discuss about what is precancer, what is the precancer stage. So and these things cause a lot of worry among the uh, doctors who are dealing with the cancers patient, because this precancer conditions is been defined by WHO is like that: if there is a tissue which has changed its morphology and has a high probability to form cancer cells compared to the normal cells, then that changed morphological tissue is considered as a precancer. And because of these definitions, most of the precancer conditions does not finally convert it into the actual cancer state, because some of the important things that this definitions does not take into account is the genetic modifications and, gene knockout and effect of the tumor microenvironment. And because of that, most of the time this precancer stage does not uh, make into the actual cancer state. So how this precancer states gets affected is shown in this triangle plot, where we can see that the normal epithelia, where there is no uh, mutated tissues or cells are present, and thereafter, because of the bad lifestyles, or the what will happen is that some of the mutations might occur in these epithelias, and this oncogenic mutations will lead to the epigenetic changes. And thereafter, once these mutated cells starts to accumulate themselves, then they will create problems like inflammations, and these inflammations will cause, or will act as a cascade effect, and it will affect the other neighboring cells, and that might also generate some mutations that is not necessarily similar to the mutations of the initial uh, cancer cells, but they might develop some other mutations in a way that it will promote tumor progressions. And with some time, the solid tumors, if they are the solid tumors, then it will develop this uh, or, or if these tumors are able to evade immune system, then this condition is called as pre-neoplasia. And this in this pre-neoplasia, it will prevent the immune cells to detect the tumor antigen that are present on the mutated cells or the cancer cells. And thereafter, once it reaches the pre-neoplasia, and thereafter it reaches to this true precancer stage, where there is a very high probability for these mutated cells to form a cancer, and then develop into this EM, then go through this EMT stage to spread across the different organ. EMT, as I have discussed in many of our videos, is epithelial to mesenchymal transition. So epithelial conditions, cells are not prone to move from one point to another point, but when they acquire the mesenchymal characteristics, they can move from one point to another point, and this is how the cancer cells spread from one organ to its neighboring organ or the other organs. And you can see that the triangles, the horizontal sides axis are can be used as environmental factors or hereditary factors. So in this case, this normal epithelia can tolerate most of the environmental factor and hereditary factors, whereas as we go up, we can see that even the slight changes in the environmental and hereditary factors will cause more impact on this true precancer stage to develop into the cancer stage. Then as we see in the vertical directions, we can see that the homeostasis conditions are at the uh, bottom. Homeostatic conditions are high at the bottom, because in the normal cell conditions, when they are when the cell functioning are going through a normal process or through a normal rate, then it will maintain a homeostasis and a steady state. Whereas when the mutations continues to rise and accumulate, then it will move towards this oncogenesis or cellular heterogeneity, as the mutations is not the same in all the mutated cancer cells, all the mutated cells, but they are the collection of the mutated cells, and that accumulate together to act as a uh, single tumor entities or act as a solid tumors, so that it can develop the tumor microenvironment that will prevent them from the immune reactions of the host. So this is some of the background about this precancer and why most of the precancer state does not capitulate themselves into the actual cancer state. So that's all for this video. If you need to understand more about this topic, that is precancer, in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. Thank you for your time.